You all appreciate it.
There are approximately 74,000 homeless people in LA County. Out of this, 40% are homeless students. Due to the rapid downturn of the economy, according to the LA Times, more than 100,000 jobs have been lost over the past 12 months. The fact is, our children are paying the price, socially, emotionally, and educationally.
You all appreciate it.
Kiyomi and I, my 10-year-old daughter and myself, we live on the 4th floor. We live in what's called the cot room, which has the EDAR cots, like the military-style cots. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, it's 5 cots in there, so there's 5 families in there. It ranges from one person having 4 children, another having 3 children. I myself have 1 child, and then another lady has 1 child. My husband lives on the 2nd floor, and he's housed in a dorm-like facility with over 200 men.
Approximately 85% of homeless families are unsheltered. Fewer and fewer shelters are available for families with 2 parents and with older children.
I'm out in the street, all I want is a shelter and something to eat. I don't even got no shoes on my feet. I'm coming through when it's hot cause I feel the heat. I don't know what to do with my life anymore. I don't even got money to walk up in the store.
Who thinking elementary? Hey, I see the penitentiary one day, running from the police, that's right. Mama catch me, put a whooping to my backside. And even as a crack fiend, mama, you're always...
The recent rise of unemployment and people struggling with day-to-day life, the use of drugs and alcohol in the streets are becoming more and more visible. Children who are homeless are being socially and educationally affected. The exposure of these drugs has a negative effect on children's behavior, and there's a need to have children housed with their families.
It affects everybody because I have been around my friends that they get high, and kids notice that. They sense that, and they could see the expression on your face. And kids could tell. You can't deny that, and it affects them. You're showing things to kids that they're gonna keep in their mind for the rest of their life. Dear mama.
The definition of homeless is being homeless is asking for money on the streets and intersections.
Sometimes I give them my extra change.
Homeless to me, well, when I think of homeless, I usually think of like older, like adults who look really grungy and dirty and are always asking for money on the street, but you never really know why they're homeless. You just figure, well, why can't you get a job? Or something. That's what I think of homelessness.
What homeless means to me is having no stability, not knowing, if you're going to eat tonight, not knowing where you're going to lay your head tonight, just having uncertainty.
There's a stereotype of a homeless individual that it's usually an older man, single, maybe with mental disabilities, sometimes substance abuse, dual diagnosis, on Skid Row by themselves in a street. While that is certainly part of our chronic homeless population, people forget that there are homeless families, that there are women, that there are youngsters, and specifically that homeless youth, particularly in my district here in Hollywood, just within a few blocks of where we are today, is a huge population that has been overlooked and forgotten.
Homeless children drop out 4 times at greater rates than our general population.
Where do I live? Mom, look at that lady. Do I have to close my eyes again?
There are numerous organizations and coalitions across Los Angeles that advocate to end homelessness. These people are met with constant struggles and have numerous barriers to overcome. The biggest challenge facing advocacy groups is the lack of political will to end homelessness.
Another gap in services I see are for our undocumented youth. If a youth has a case with the Department of Children and Family Services, they will assist with them getting their green card or legalization documents. But if a youth does not have an open case with the Department of Children and Family Services, it's very hard to get them their legalization documents. So even though a youth might have been brought to the United States as a very young child and they had no choice in that decision to come to another country, and then if their parents have emotionally abused them or something that DCFS has said isn't a huge amount of abuse, the county won't open up a case for them, and then it's very, very difficult for a youth to move forward with their life.
Every child is born innocent, some rich and some poor. Unfortunately, some have to sleep on the floor. Sometimes their fault, sometimes it's not, searching for food that's waiting to rot. These children live their lives not knowing what to do. The things that they see are such a negative view. No roof over their head at night when they sleep, listening to others stay up and weep. Having to see the horrible truth is depriving them of their only youth.
Schooling is related to housing, because if you have people who are living in poor neighborhoods and concentrated poverty, and they live in horrible situations, then when you go to school, the teachers feel that, oh, well, you know what we're doing? We're actually playing a security guard. We're actually trying to compensate for the lack of psychic support and so on. So by the end of the day, they're so worn out because of the necessity of dealing with the fractured nature of life of many of these young people that they end up becoming so much more than teachers. So I say, let's not only hold them accountable, let's hold the society accountable as we owe these young people a chance to survive.
Providing that social support early, providing education early, providing support to families early absolutely prevents the expenditures that we deal as a society in terms of health and welfare and incarceration and mental health and joblessness.
Until we get a steady funding stream to take the chronically homeless and the newly homeless off the streets, we will have this problem come back again and again and again. And it isn't just government that's forgotten, Mia. It's all of us, because government is a reflection of us. And until people step up and say, yes, we want more funding for homelessness, and we will pay for it, they don't realize they're paying more for it by not housing you, Mia. That they're paying more every single time your family goes to the emergency room instead of investing in preventative health care. That every single time you're on the streets and we're feeding you in that way, it's much cheaper to put somebody in an apartment. We had an individual here in Hollywood who cost close to $100,000 in 1 month from hospital visits, emergency room visits. When we got him into an apartment, it cost us $800. You do the math.
Maybe surrounded by a million people, I still feel all alone. Just wanna go home. Oh, I miss you, you know. And I've been keeping all the letters that I wrote to you, each one a line or two. I'm fine, baby, how are you? Well, I would send them, but I know that it's just not enough. My words were cold and flat, and you deserve more than that. Another aeroplane, another sunny place. I'm lucky, I know, but I wanna go home. I got to go home. Let me go home.